Hey YouTube, I'm back. It's Bill Gallagher here for more D&T action. My hand looks sweet. Put on a hoodie so it doesn't look like I'm wearing the same shirt for 3 weeks as you watch these videos, but seeing as you can still see the purple underneath, I don't think you're going to be fooled. You're too clever for that. Alright, hand's okay for a mirror. We're going to have Vile when our opponent doesn't. I can potentially wasteland my opponent off of their Caracas. I don't think it's correct to on turn 1, though. Just like getting the Vile in play is so good. Oh, it's a pseudo mirror. It's probably Maverick instead. Ugh. Library on a board with no pressure is very scary. It also makes wastelanding my opponent way, way worse. This draw also makes wastelanding my opponent way worse. I'll be getting Umezawa's Jitte here. The plan being end of turn Mom, next turn put in Jitte off of Stoneforge, and then attacking with Sarah Avenger. Buckle up, folks. This is probably going to be a long match. The D&T versus Maverick matches, in paper, tend to go to time or very close to it. And on Magic Online, if we go to Game 3, we'll probably use up most of the clock. It's a very skill-intensive matchup. A lot of room for good and bad play to really influence the outcome of the match. That's fine. I think my opponent's getting super punished for choosing to Swords to Plowshares early, by the way. Like, if they had waited until end of turn, they would have gotten my Mother of Runes instead of my Stoneforge Mystic, which is big game. And because of that, they're not going to be able to connect with Jitte next turn. Am I wastelanding my opponent? If I wasteland my opponent and they wasteland me back, I can't actually equip Jitte next turn. So I'm not sure that I actually am wastelanding them. At the same time, it's probably not that bad to do so. So with certainty that happens. I think I'm going to choose to not wasteland them. I think equipping and re-equipping this Jitte is probably my path to victory. Swords to Plowshares could make this turn awkward. What? What? This is such a loosey-goosey attack. Does the opponent not realize my mom is active? Like, they don't have white up for Swords to Plowshares, they have single green up? All right. We take these wins. Yep. Yep. Okay. I don't think I ever did Maverick in my notes. I did not. So Maverick plays out a lot like the D&T matchup. I'm going to make a pile of things that I'll consider. I'm not going to board all of this, but this pile of stuff is the pile of stuff that's viable, and kind of based on in-out numbers where we'll see like how much of this I want to board in. So Thalia's pretty bad in the Pseudo Mirror, as is Sanctum Prelate. Brightling is going to get walled by Knight of the Reliquary pretty well. So that's 6 cards. Maverick goes wide of D&T relatively easily, so Palace Jailer's kind of medium, but I might still play it. And I'll probably cut Sword of Fire and Ice since I have a pro-white sword to bring in. Why did I pull Chalice of the Void? That's not playable in this matchup. Okay, so let's start with the stuff that absolutely is coming in. It's the 5 cards that answer equipment. So like those are super important. And then from there I decide what I want to do with these last couple of slots. Path to Exile is kind of medium, as is Rest in Peace. Like, they have their uses. Rest in Peace shrinks down the night and stops graveyard-based recursion. Like Loam and Red and 6 of my opponent is a splash build, but it looks like they're just green-white. And Path to Exile is just like a nice answer to Bobs and Knights, but it will, in all likelihood, ramp them out. I also have these Brimazes, which aren't looking great in the face of Knight of the Reliquary either, rather than the Mirror Crusaders I'm used to having. So Knight of the Reliquary is going to be a problem. I should board in either Rip or Path to help answer it. And help this get through. I think it'll be 1 Path, and if they show me more graveyard-based stuff than just Knight, I'll consider boarding Rip. My hand is absolutely amazing. I have great flexibility with this Recruiter of the Guard, and I have Aether Vial to kind of push me ahead on mana. Opponent's opener seems kind of weak. They had to lead on a non-fetch, non-basic land, so I'm expecting something like Stoneforge Mystic to come down this turn. Why did you keep your hand? It must just be like jam-packed full of Swords to Plowshares or something. Or like naturally has Jitte. Why are you playing that card right now? Let me pick my piece of equipment first. You're giving me more information. I think I'm going to take my Jitte here. It's possible that I should grab Sword of Truth and Justice, though, for the pro-white, because my opponent might just have, like, Knight of the Reliquary in hand, and that's why they kept their hand. I'm a little confused on details of what's going on over there, but I think I'm going to start with the Jitte. I am leaving myself the option of Recruiter of the Guard for Stoneforge next turn to grab one of the other pieces as well. Okay, they are a splash build. Alright, there's a Knight. Cool, cool, cool. I think I'm going to let that Knight go for a turn or two. And just continue doing my own thing. Like, I have an answer to it in hand and better things to do with my mana currently. Yes. I think that's a very bad attack as well. You've seen Sarah Avenger already. If I vialed that in and traded with Knight of the Reliquary, I would be ecstatic. But I don't really think I should be expecting my opponent to have the reads for those next level plays. Green Sun for 2. Green Sun for 2. I assume Qasali Pridemage. Activate. Yes. Stoneforge. Use the ability. Yes. Sword of Truth and Justice. Let's check this up to 3 because drawing a Flicker Wisp this turn would be absolutely stupid. I think I want to path the Knight at some point in the next turn cycle. probably doesn't need to be now. Although maybe it should be. Alternatively, I can like swords it. I wonder if I wasteland the Savannah if they'll crack their Pride Mage and blow up my Ether Vial. I'm not gonna do that. It's so beyond greedy. So I think I'm gonna Swords to Plowshares that. Wasteland their Grove because that's problematic for me. And then pass the turn. I don't want them to have Green Sun for Night available, and I don't want Punishing Fire Grove to be something that matters. Again, like, these attacks are interesting. I don't have anything to punish them for it, but Flicker Wisp, for example, would be real hot here. So I'm going to put in this Jitte, and I wouldn't be surprised if my opponent just ate it right away. Yeah, that's fine. Everything's going as intended here. So now I've already played a land. I will pat the exiled mom. That card's not all that scary right now, given board. But you really don't want to leave your opponent with an active mom in a creature mirror. Very, very, very bad place to be. Stoneforge Mystic for Batterskull? Okay. That is a line. That is a line. All right, you have a Swords to Plowshares. Sure. Opponent's top decks have been pretty strong here. Mine a bit less so. I'm gonna be super tilted if I lose this one. Again, opponent, like, don't make that there. Don't do it like that. Like, just wait until, like, I make a block or something becomes relevant and go for a blowout. You also have Quizali Pride Mage on board, so you may not even need to use that card. And you may be better off cycling it for something else at some point in the game. I'll say everything that I said last turn as well here. We're not in chump block with recruiter mode yet. How sick would my own Batterskull off the top be? Nope, there's another basic land though. Stoneforge for Batterskull is great. Flicker Wisp is great. I think I do go to 1. It's awkward. But I think it leaves me with more outs. Well, I'm going to continue to play and act under the assumption that my opponent is going to make more mistakes. Like, they should just end of turn Dryad Arbor and then attack in with 4 creatures to guarantee lethal. But I think they're just going to attack in with 1 creature again. And if they do that, I can just block with Brimaz, Karakas it back to my hand. And then for the cost of 4 mana, low cost, I will brick them for a few turns until they figure it out. Well, they missed fetching Dryad Arbor. Well, they made the rookie mistake. Multiple rookie mistakes there. They still get to gain life, but that's whatever. These draws, though. I'm going to play out Ether Vial and just like hope they don't realize that they have me dead on board if they attack with 3 creatures, because they didn't realize that last turn. What? Okay. I mean, I will gladly lose my recruiter in order to make a top deck Batterskull absolutely devastating. So thank you for your trouble. You have given me a cat soldier, which I can use to block on a future turn, and you've gotten rid of an Aether Vial, which is basically a dead card. Please just equip the Batterskull to the bird and end me. Alright. That game went on way, way, way longer than it should have. I think I like trimming a Brimaz for another Path to Exile. And just mostly planning on using Flickerwisp Avengers and protection from what my opponent has going on to close out the game. This is a fine 6-card hand. Venture. I go ahead and bottom that. Like it's fine, but it's not better than fine. Plateau is in your deck. Plateau is in your deck. You made the same mistake as last game. I would have gotten a Batterskull in all likelihood if you wouldn't have done that. Why are you getting Batterskull? You already have Jitte? Alright, it'll absolutely just crash in with a Mom if I get another land here. Opponent chooses not to use Stoneforge Mystic's ability. Okay. Also, I probably should have brought in my copies of Rest in Peace, because my opponent has Groves and then Punishing Fires, but I was kind of tilted by my opponent's play pattern and just didn't. So I'm leaving up Path to Exile here to prevent potential disaster. My hand's great. Sylvan Library. Sure, sure, sure. And Jitte now. Hey, if only you had something that could let you do that at instant speed. So I need to take this mom off the table. I would love to rip a land. Nope. Story of this game, though. So do I want to answer Batterskull or their Jitte with my council's judgment? So it might be correct to throw caution to the wind, equip Jitte to Mom, attack, they'll block with Stoneforge, use Jitte counters to kill, Stoneforge and Bird of Paradise, play my Ether Vial, have Council's Judgment for the Batterskull that they're going to tap out for, and hope that I draw a creature over the next 2 turns to deal with their Jitte. Their equipment's not that big of a deal right now, but something stupid like an Exalted guy off the top like absolutely wrecks me. There's also a world where I'm just playing this a little too quickly since I do have this sort of Truth and Justice in hand. Still in combat damage. Batterskull plus Wasteland would be pretty bad for me. That is a good set of cards. may be able to wiggle into a spot where that becomes really good. But my opponent is going to have 3 bodies to my 1 body. I'd like to draw Stoneforge Mystic for turn, please. I also do not understand this attack at all. I think I'm very clearly stuck on mana. You're just supposed to attack with the Qasali Pride Mage for 1 less point of damage, and then activate Knight of the Reliquary to wasteland me, and just keep me out of this game. Okay. There's a 2-drop. Very specifically a 2-drop that can go and fly over what my opponent has. That's a little frustrating. I will take the ever-loving crap out of my opponent's misplays, though. Like, my opponent has absolutely no respect for any of the cards that I could have. And then they didn't sacrifice this to blow up one of my pieces of equipment. Wow. Just wow. This turn can get really neat. I'm hoping that my opponent blows up my Jitte and not my sword, because if they don't blow up the sword, I can proliferate my Ether Vial. Holy shit, it is happening. Proliferate this. I will proliferate this. And done. I will activate this. Use its ability. Yes. Palace Jailer. Remove your Knight of the Reliquary. I am the pretty princess. Wow. That's a fine draw. Why? Why? A, why is that in your deck? B, why is that in for this matchup? Okay, chat. Sorry, not chat. Okay, YouTube. That was a great example of why the small decisions matter over time. I had absolutely no business winning that game at all, but a number of misplays that my opponent made certainly cost them that game.